Hi, Seymour Rocks. I've got Guy McPherson with me, and I just wanted to ask him if he's got a bit of an update about what's happening with the climate. You've got something about methane.
Yes, actually, a couple of things. In response to a question on last week's radio show, NatureBat's Last Radio, I described additional data regarding methane emissions from small lakes and ponds. The information is part of feedback number 28 in my long, often updated essay, which is called Climate Change Summary and Update. I'd missed a report from the Barents Observer October 5th, 2015. It was titled Melting Ice Releases GHGs on Land, and the GHGs is greenhouse gases. It described a paper in the September 10th, 2015 issue of Geophysical Research Letters titled Rising Methane Emissions from Northern Wetlands Associated with Sea Ice Decline. As you can probably tell from that title, the paper demonstrates that rising wetland methane emissions are associated with sea ice retreat. So this is yet another example of the interactions between or among self-reinforcing feedback loops.
Yeah.
As sea ice declines, methane emissions from these small bodies of water contribute to further decline of sea ice. The two factors thus reinforce one another. And more evidence of these types of interactions is on the rise. A paper in the October 5th, 2015 issue of Philosophical Transactions of the Royal Society A takes the average of two conservative warming scenarios offered by the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change and concludes frozen soil carbon, found primarily in the form of methane, responds rapidly to warming. Specifically, for every 1 degree Celsius of global warming, the amount of permafrost carbon that enters the atmosphere is equivalent to 1.5 years of global carbon dioxide emissions. That's a huge, huge release in a short period of time. 1 degree Celsius temperature increase causes permafrost carbon to enter the atmosphere, equivalent to 1.5 years of global carbon dioxide emissions, which are, of course, increasing every year. And this, bear in mind, quoting the very conservative Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change in the very conservative refereed journal literature.
Right. I think I have to go away and absorb that.
Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds simple, but there's a lot there to think about. It's just another example of methane, sea ice, methane, carbon dioxide interacting with each other instead of standing out there alone, as many people and papers indicate. So the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is a classic example of just exactly that. They focus almost exclusively on carbon dioxide emissions, and they fail to acknowledge that carbon dioxide emissions are causing rapid release of methane into the atmosphere. And not only that, but rapid release of methane into the atmosphere is also influencing carbon dioxide emissions. So that they're playing off each other just as the sea ice interacts with methane release.
And we were talking before about how there is, they really don't want us to see the data, and I think it's NOAA that do the measurements at Barrow, Alaska. They just don't show the last few months' data. It's not available.
Yeah, if you can't get the data, then you can't present the data, and you certainly can't argue that it's dire, can you?
Yeah, that's right. We just have to rely on the next time Natalia Shachova and others go up into the northern Siberia.
Right, and of course they're having great difficulty getting their information out.
Yes.
Because they're working against the system.
Yes. And when we're talking about people who are obfuscating, I would probably give Gavin Schmidt the prize for that myself.
Oh, yeah. And recognizing that he's probably under some pressure himself from the Obama administration.
Yes.
So, he knows where his paycheck gets signed.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you for that, Guy. That was
Sure.
That was good to have that update.